So I'm starting with this because this is the two things I want you to take away from this video. Your drag done up tight because you don't want water in your drag. And as simple as this, hot water. So obviously you're going to want the hot water to go down the whole tip of the rod, so you will have to move it. But this is the best way to clean or prevent corrosion from the salt on your fishing gear. So, you know, when you get that opportunity, you can come in, throw in the rod, give it like a couple of minutes is all it takes. Like that's already, you know, that's already hot now. So that will clean the salt a lot better than hitting with the hose outside. It'll save your reel and also your rod. So just want to add that, make sure obviously, as you can see the water coming out of the reel now, make sure you try and get that excess water out once you pull them out of the shower. Leave the drag done up. So the idea of leaving the drag done is you don't want water in your drag system because it will, yeah, pretty much cause it to like mess with your drag. You'll get some rust and stuff. The water will mess up the oil, the grease that's in there. And you don't want high pressure on your reels purely because it's just going to push water and mix that water with the oil and the grease. So you sort of just want to light rinse off. Really, that's probably the better way to go, but that's just an example. The hot water will always clean better. So obviously after you give it a shake out, try and get out a bit of water and then leave it out in the sun somewhere to actually dry. So option 2, obviously make sure your drags are done up tight, and you know, if you're in a bit of a rush, you don't have time to throw the rods in the shower, you know that the hot water will clean better than cold. You know, you just give them a bit of a rinse off. You know, you don't want mass pressure. You don't want to put it right up in there and force the water. So what you'd want to avoid is the water getting into your drag system or forcing the water up into the oils and the grease in the reels. That's sort of the trick. Like, that will destroy your reel very quick. So you just want to give them a bit of a wash off, you know, a bit of a hose down on your rod. That's it. You know, you don't have to put a lot of pressure or time. Oh, I'm not getting up close in the reels, but you just want to freshen it, remove that salt. So option 3 is if you've washed your boat, you got some soapy water left, or I do this if I'm bait fishing, because obviously if you bait fish, you get it all over your hands, put it all over your gear. It's, you know, a little bit harder to get off. Yeah, so soapy water just over everything, you know, anything, you know, that you've touched where you might have, you know, put some of the bait on, and just remove that salt. Make sure you get the guides as well, both sides, then down the actual rod and on the inside. Then that's pretty much it. You just, same thing, grab the hose, just a mist. Just want to remove that without pushing all of the water into the reel. That's it. Then it's the same as well. Make sure you tick that upside down because you'll see the amount of water comes out of that reel. And that's why you do it up. That way it will stop the water just mixing with the oils and the grease, whatever is sitting in that in your drag system. Then put it out in the sun to dry, and then don't forget about it obviously, and then come back and get it in maybe an hour time.
Make sure you loosen the drags right off too before you put your rods away.
Don't forget as well, just to give anything else that obviously, like, all you're trying to do is remove the salt water. I wouldn't be putting a I would not be putting, in a way of saying, soap in here, just because it is to keep, you know, like the bait fish alive or whatever live bait I get. Then just make sure, you know, the system's pumping a bit of air and it's not going to really matter. It's giving it a clean out. But this is just what I run or use, and a small hole through here so that the hose, I've got a lid, I can travel with it in the car. It's not expensive to do. spare batteries in the car as well, and then that way, as you can see, that's all you need. You fill it with water, keeps it nice and aerated, and your light bait don't die. It's got like a low and a high, and this is just what I tend to use if I need to, or to carry the cast net in. Don't forget about your cast net too. It's the same thing. Just give it a bit of a stretch and a bit of a washout. It's a bit hard because of the size of and the length of it here, but I'm just trying to demonstrate. I normally would throw this, you know, out on the yard as well. Stretch it out while it dries. Cord as well, and it's always good just to have a practice as well. Just to make sure, you know. To be honest, I'd probably throw it out in the sun, but you get the idea. There's I'll put a link in the video as well. There is a tutorial on how I throw a cast net. But that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, hot water. You want your gear to last. Even if it's cheap, the hot water will make a big difference in the long run. You know, if you're using light bait or bait in general, I do recommend using the soapy water, but I just feel like putting it in the shower and giving it a couple of minutes under the hot water will clean it a lot better than hitting with the hose outside, which is cold water. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please, if this video has helped you, help me out, give it a like, and hit that sub button, and I'll catch you on my next video. Get out there and catch more fish.